Hello, and welcome to Verizon Network Fleet's How a Fleet Management Solution Can Help Improve Customer Service webinar. My name is Matt McCarty, and I'll be your moderator today, taking your questions for the presenter throughout the broadcast. We also have Gianna Turley here, and she'll be working behind the scenes, making sure everything is running smoothly today. As we wait for everyone to join the webinar, I'll cover a few housekeeping items. Today's webinar is scheduled for approximately 30 minutes and includes a question and answer session at the end. We encourage you to ask questions throughout the webinar, and you can do so by entering a question using the questions button within your webinar player. Also within your webinar player, should you wish to view this presentation in full screen or modify the volume, you'll find those controls on the bottom right. And if you would like to download the slides from today's presentation, you can access those as well as other related documents from the attachments button. If you missed any part of today's presentation, the webinar will be made available for on-demand viewing within minutes of the conclusion. Our presenter today is Nick Saloufis, a fleet telematics expert at Verizon Network Fleet. Nick is responsible for educating and providing businesses with fleet management technology to help lower operational expenses and improve fleet efficiency and productivity. He's an award-winning sales leader who specializes in product training. He's got 13 years of telecommunication experience, including 6 with Network Fleet. And with that, Nick, to you.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much, Matt. Appreciate that. And thank you for all those that have joined. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on the time zone to which you are at. So hello and welcome to today's webinar as we discuss how utilizing a GPS fleet management solution can provide significant value to your organization's overall customer service. So many of you are probably curious how fleet management software can really help improve your organization's customer service metrics. Well, hang on tight and be prepared to be educated. First, you want to ask yourself the following most important question. Do you know how your fleet impacts customer satisfaction? When you operate a fleet, vehicles and drivers are extensions of your business. A vehicle breakdown, for example, could equate to a late arrival for a service call, a lost customer, and even reputation damage if that customer shares that negative experience. Fleet management solutions can help eliminate time-wasting tasks surrounding your fleet so that you can focus on your bottom line and deliver better customer service. During this webinar, we'll go over 5 ways a fleet management solution can improve customer service and strengthen your business. The 5 areas that we will cover today will focus on the following: supporting accurate billing information and improving communication from your drivers to the management and also to your customers, while also looking at streamlining workflows, supporting your operations, providing reliable services, and some may say the most important, maintaining a positive company reputation. After the call, we'll have a brief question and answer, followed by some contact information if you have some additional questions for follow-up. Depending on the type of your business, accurate location data for each driver can be an important step in providing customers with correct and timely billing information. By utilizing a fleet management's ability to generate accurate and detailed reports, or by simply just pulling up the vehicle's location on the map, you will have the data you need to make those decisions. Either way, visibility over how long a driver is at a job, how that aligns with time cards, or the time being billed, and the actual GPS data helps you provide complete transparency to your customer. Should a dispute arise, you have time-stamped locations that can help answer customer concerns. You'll be able to have the right conversations and promptly to help maintain satisfaction. All in all, a GPS tracking on vehicles and assets means you can provide quick and more precise responses to your customers' questions. Gain a historical look at how much time jobs typically take, or even down to a particular employee, which can help you provide better job and time estimates. You can also shape specific employee feedback and training so that services are consistent across your entire organization. Here's an example of a fleet management mapping interface that allows you to do some of the following tasks. Geofencing, for example. This is the ability to put an invisible fence on top of a map and be able to report on whether a vehicle has traveled into that area or out of that area, or how many miles were driven in that area and or out of that area. You can also look at very detailed routing information to determine whether or not your vehicles are taking the best and most efficient routes to help conserve on time as well as fuel. You can also do things such as landmarking if you wanted to look at common points of interest and understand how long time is being spent at those locations, whether that's a shop or if that's a customer site. You can also use the map to overlay some additional features. For example, you can look at the traffic conditions and understand, what does the traffic look like for the upcoming route that needs to happen, and whether or not you need to budget more time to do so. Right? You can also get very up to the date information on weather. So if any inclement weather is coming in, you can better route and better dispatch your vehicles to ensure that your estimated time of arrival is accurate for those customers. By use of these features, you will have the most up-to-date information for all of your vehicles. Exceeding customer expectations not only satisfies each customer, but can also attract new business if that customer speaks highly of your service. Promptly resolving any customer concern is one of the ways to maintain their satisfaction. Now, don't forget, your existing customers are your organization's best and most effective referring people. So it's super critical that you meet expectations and make them a net promoter of your company. By utilizing a GPS fleet management solution, you will be better prepared to grow your business. Next, let's talk about streamlining workflows. As a business owner or manager, you wear many hats. The less time you spend tracking down drivers or even trucks, the more time you can focus on supporting key operations within your company. During this section, I want you to start thinking of all the various hats that you wear and identify all of the manual processes that take place daily, weekly, or even monthly. Next, ask yourself, if I could eliminate just some of these manual tasks, what would I do with all that extra time? And how could that positively impact my business and my bottom line? Well, one of the ways to eliminate manual tasks is to turn to a fleet management solution to help provide you the guidance you need to identify where those workflow gaps are and streamline some of those operations. Need a tip on how to find a workflow efficiency? One good step in rolling out a fleet management solution is to define what other areas of the business in which it could improve workflow. An integrated fleet management solution can mean eliminating unnecessary paperwork and manual processes altogether. If you could provide support to the non-fleet departments or foster relationships with other departments' head and identify potential cost savings, how would that impact your bottom line? Understanding key utilization metrics for your fleet, like how often are they being used or how much downtime is spent idling, will provide you the key information you need to budget jobs and customer interactions. Another example of efficiencies would be examples like a fuel card program that can help integrate with a GPS tracking system. And this allows businesses to monitor where and when every purchase is made and by which driver, which can even limit their spending. Your accounting department will spend less time tracking down information, and when it comes to customer service, this means your drivers spend less time keeping track of receipts and filling out those reimbursement forms, and more time serving your customers and growing your business. By increasing workflow efficiencies, you can cut down on the administrative burden and the costs that come associated with it. Whether you're able to pass down the savings onto your customers or use the savings to continue to provide services at a competitive value, this can definitely help you in customer retention and business profitability. Some of the key factors in the customer's decisions, as you see from above, around value and service. Take a moment to read those. Next, let's discuss how GPS fleet management software can support your business operations. With the help of accurate data and quality logistics, You can help dispatch the appropriate vehicles for the right routes. Rather than spending time trying to figure out which driver is ideal for that last-minute job, GPS tracking can help you identify who should go where, and by knowing who's closest, you therefore eliminate unnecessary communication. No more will you have to panic dial to find a technician that will take your call late in the day to squeeze in that one more job for that customer appointment. But rather, at your fingertips, you know exactly where your team is in the field and allows for you to give quick responses and accurate ETAs to your customers. This also leads to more efficient routes, meaning drivers can take on more customers in any given time of the day. GPS tracking paired with navigation can help you determine the effectiveness of your current route configurations and allocate your vehicles in the most productive way possible. Asset tracking goes beyond your regular vehicles and can go on things such as trailers and other equipment. That also allows for you to improve efficiencies. It allows for you to improve response times by pinpointing exactly where those assets are in the field. It allows for you to schedule automatic alerts and notify you if those assets are being moved. It eliminates unnecessary communication and allows for you to get more done in a day while reducing the number of miles that you're having to drive. Here's a screenshot of how utilizing a GPS fleet software helps you also schedule your driver's customer appointments and stay up to date with how they're progressing throughout their day. Take notice of the easy-to-read, user-friendly format. Now, not all software needs to be overwhelming, and GPS fleet management software makes it easy for you to run your business. As you see from the screenshot, it clearly outlines what vehicles, where they are throughout their tasks, what customer appointments they may be on, allows for you to determine if someone's ahead of schedule or even running behind schedule, and if that means that you need to dispatch someone else to ensure that you're still meeting those customer response times. Either way, a fleet management software solution can help you stay on top of this very quickly and accurately. Here are some impressive statistics on how exceeding customer expectation not only satisfies each customer, but can also attract new business if that customer speaks highly of your service. Promptly resolving any customer concern, keeping services on time, and as promised, are ways to maintain their satisfaction. Some of those key factors in the customer's decisions on their willingness to even pay more and premium spend. Take a moment to look at some of those statistics. So now let's talk about growth. In order for your business to grow, you must provide reliable services. In order to provide reliable services, your vehicles, they have to be available. Right? Preventative maintenance is crucial to limiting vehicle breakdowns and keeping those vehicles on the road so that you can take care of your customers. Having an accurate read on a vehicle health is important to keeping vehicles in top condition and operational. Provided by a fleet management solution, engine data and near real-time metrics are tools that can help you better schedule preventative maintenance rather than relying on your drivers to remember when to do things such as oil changes. Not only can this help reduce breakdowns, it can help reduce the time the vehicle is out of commission and or alert you if any issues that you may have not otherwise caught. It gives you a better idea of when to replace those vehicles by simply calculating data points that will tell you when it's time to do certain maintenance and cost reduction strategies. For example, an engine monitoring system can provide systematic engine alerts, reduce the amount of time you spend doing vehicle paperwork, and can help control costs by reducing the risk of the breakdown. The cost of downtime isn't just about the cost of the repair or what that shop labor is. It's about how many jobs that vehicle could have handled if it wasn't not in the shop. Plus, if you need to rent a vehicle to keep up with the demand of your business while that other vehicle is in the shop, now you're digging into your bottom line. Having a better handle on vehicle health can help keep jobs on schedule and customers satisfied while growing your business. Most vehicles are equipped and built with the EPA-approved onboard diagnostic standard called OBD2, which has the capability to diagnose both engine and emission problems. It can also monitor parts of the chassis, body, and accessory devices, as well as the diagnostic control network of the vehicle. The combination of OBDs and GPS tracking systems was a breakthrough for the fleet industry. The installed telematics device reads the engine diagnostic information directly from that onboard computer. Each problem has its own specific diagnostic trouble code, or referred to as DTC. As soon as the DTC occurs, the OBD2 automatically sends to the fleet manager or the technician in a form of a DTC alert. You get notified real time of the potential problem, and if the driver fails to report that the engine light warning is on, it allows for you to be able to check on those before, in some cases, that engine light even comes on. Now you get to have the information you need to decide whether or not that problem needs fixing right away, or can it wait till that next scheduled maintenance? Consumers can be finicky. And in today's online game of search and comparison, it's easy for customers to bail on loyalty and test out your competitors. In 2014, American Express customer service surveyed, 37% of the respondents said that just after one bad experience, they would switch to a competitor. And another 58% said that they would go through 2 or maybe 3 negative incidents at the most before looking to switch. As a business owner or fleet manager, it's clear that customer service must stand as your top priority for your organization. Customer service usually involves multiple touch points. Contacts with customers could include providing an update on when the delivery or service is expected to arrive. For example, with multiple touch points for just one transaction, you have multiple opportunities to safeguard satisfaction. This is important when, according to that same American Express survey, 60% of Americans cited walking away from an intended transaction because of a poor experience. So as you see from the metrics above, some of the key factors in customer decision, poor service and negative interaction directly impacts your bottom line and your ability to scale and grow your business. Lastly, and most importantly, you have to maintain a good name if you want to grow your business, right? Reputation risk is difficult to measure, but CEOs across major companies agree that it's a critical area businesses must manage, especially in today's world of online reviews. In a Deloitte survey, more than 300 executives, 87% of them said that the reputation risk is more important to manage than other risks to their business. From a drop in revenue to a loss in brand value, a negative reputation can bring serious consequences to your company's bottom line. Your drivers are the face of your company, let's just be honest. And when they're out on the road or on a job, they're representing your company and everything it stands for. Safe and friendly driving may often seem to go unnoticed, but somehow fatal accidents and even minor collisions seem to get frontline page news. Unsafe driving can quickly tarnish your public's image. Taking advantage of telematic data can improve overall driving behavior by helping fleets better coach drivers on activities such as speeding or even hard braking. Plus, the overall transparency that telematics can bring to your operations, such as supporting accurate billing, can also have a positive impact on your company's reputation. Major companies don't disagree that technology solutions can provide excellent resources to reputation risk management. In that same Deloitte study that I mentioned, a majority of executives surveyed cited that investments in technology and data gathering are the 2 top areas of focus when it comes to reputation risk management. And by using a GPS fleet solution, that will help you curb some of those risks. A fleet management solution can provide you the critical information one needs to ensure that the drivers are operating your vehicles in a safe and reputable manner. The screenshot above provides you an example of an easy-to-read metric for driver behavior. How your drivers behave in your vehicle directly represents your brand. At the click of your finger, you can determine exactly if any vehicles or any drivers, have any speeding incidents, or what their scorecard may be as it pertains to their driver behavior. Identifying which drivers may have a little more risk associated with them will allow for you to quickly mitigate that risk by coaching those drivers and providing them insight to where they could improve as a driver. The potential for one bad experience to hurt your business can be startling. 95% of customers will discuss a bad customer service experience with their friends or family, while only 46 will even discuss a good one. With word-of-mouth marketing, social media, review sites, and let's be honest, shrinking patience from consumers, delivering great customer service can give you a competitive advantage in sustaining and growing your business. A more efficient operation means more time to focus on satisfying your customers and attracting new ones. When word-of-mouth marketing can make or break your company, doing everything you can to provide reliable services to your customers should always be priority one. Even the best products and services out in the market can be tainted by a poor customer relation. So when consumers are quick to jump ship, as we pointed out, your competitive advantage just might be providing excellent customer service. In fleet operations, you can provide customer service support to your business by taking advantage of a fleet management solution. That allows for you to be nimble and transparent with your customers and your entire organization and gives you the tools you need to retain that competitive edge that you once had, as well as trying to strive for, while also being efficient and friendly service provider. So, with that, I will turn it back to Matt, our moderator, to open up the phone line for any questions that may have come. Matt, back to you.
Hey, thanks, Nick. And before we start today's question and answer session, I just want to cover a couple items. For those of you listening, first, your feedback is very important to us, so please take a minute to rate the webinar. It really helps us out. You can do this by selecting the rate button within your webinar player. And secondly, the recording of today's webinar is going to be available for your viewing shortly after we get finished here. And so I think, Jana, we've got a couple questions that have trickled in here. Let me take a look at a few of these here. And, okay, Nick, so we often operate in remote areas. Does the GPS signal work in places a cell phone does not?
Yeah, that's a great question. Great question, Matt. So the dual mode combination of cellular and satellite infrastructure allows the system to provide continuous connectivity for uninterrupted fleet management. This provides driver safety and ensures that vehicle tracking, especially even in remote areas. So great question.
Our next question, is there a driver display?
Absolutely. We live in a world of technology, so if the answer was no, we wouldn't be doing our justice. But we absolutely have mobile driver applications along with manager app applications that help you navigate and manage driver routes and their schedules and be able to respond to any vehicle alerts or those DTCs that I referenced earlier to keep track of their driving and their vehicle health.
Awesome. Just a couple more trickling in. Where do we go to see the vehicle tracking information?
Yeah, so there are various ways to look at the data within the portal, and especially even now within the mobile app, right? So I would encourage, some folks like to be mobile and prefer to use the tablet or mobile phone app base, while others anywhere you have an internet connection, essentially you can gain access and visibility to your fleet management software and your vehicles as a whole.
Thanks for that. New one coming in. How accurate is the driving speed?
The driving speed is extremely accurate. So by plugging into the OBD2 and the engine onboard computer system, it allows for your vehicles to get information directly from the engine computer, which allows for extremely accurate. And what it doesn't have to do is rely on GPS satellite transmission to then calculate an algorithm. So it's extremely accurate.
That's great. All right. Next question. Can we run reports for mileage like the IFTA, tax, et cetera, those kinds of things?
Yeah, absolutely. Our software specifically allows for you to not only see those fuel transactions, as I alluded to a little earlier in the presentation, but also allows for you to see every mile that was driven in a respective state, and even if they were on a toll road. So as it relates to things such as IFTA, you generally need those two components to package it. And then for those folks that want something even more automated, we offer additional services with our partners that will do a complete automation suite for your IFTA services.
Awesome, man. We've got a lot of great questions from the audience today. Another one, are drivers required to do anything extra to activate the GPS system or anything with the mobile app?
Not at all. So as it pertains to the GPS hardware itself, as soon as that vehicle turns on, we know that it's on, and we know if it's either moving or just sitting there idling. Now, in terms of the mobile app, the driver would have to log into the mobile app if they needed to, and also the manager, because we have a manager supervisor app where you could log into that and see exactly where the driver of the vehicle is. But the driver itself does not have to do anything with the GPS hardware to make it work. It will start working as soon as that vehicle is up and moving.
That's so great. I know I'm learning a lot today. This is awesome. Can you explain the installation process of the GPS system?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we have a few different types of hardware, but the easiest way to explain the installation process is it's a plug-and-play hardware. So regardless of the type of vehicle you have, if it has an onboard computer system or engine diagnostic port, we'll be able to do what we call a plug-and-play that allows for a very quick, seamless installation, and also limits any potential having of hard wiring and cutting and splicing and doing all that. So the average customer can generally do their own installations and/or contract our widespread installation network to do the work for them. Along with that, we provide customers with not only very detailed manuals on how to do it, but we even provide videos on how the work's going to be done, so you can know prior to the installation of the hardware exactly how it's done.
That's great. Thank you. If a driver tries to tamper with and unplug the device from the OBD2, does it send any kind of alert, or what happens?
Yeah, it's a great question, Matt. So there is what we consider a lost power alert. So in the event that our GPS unit stops working and has been interrupted, whether that's a driver unplugging it or maybe even a battery dying, anytime the power to our hardware is cut, it'll actually send either a real-time text message alert or email alert, and you can also report on that with our suite of reports that we have in the fleet management software.
Oh, that's great. Do we have any portable units? Is another question.
I would have to learn a little bit more in terms of portable and what that entails. We can connect to virtually anything that's got power, and as I also alluded to in the presentation, as it relates to non-powered assets, we can also connect to those. So it's definitely something we could ask and learn a little bit more about the asset that you'd like to track and how that could be portable. So absolutely.
This next question, I think, comes along the lines of like a J.J. Keller question, but we're being asked if we support electronic logging.
Absolutely. So we currently provide our electronic logging system with J.J. Keller, who is our compliance partner, and all of that's done through the Verizon Network Fleet platform and then leveraged with a Android-based tablet or phone to power an app to do all of the e-log communication.
That's great. Another one, let's see. What is the per vehicle startup cost?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. I feel like you never really can leave a meeting or a webinar without having to answer things around cost. But, depending on the type of hardware, it's the rule of thumb for us is we generally say it's about $1 a day, right? We have a few different hardware products, so depending on whichever one you decide to go with, the safest bet to say for something as low as $1 a day for each vehicle, you'll have complete visibility to what's going on with your fleet.
That's great. And then we got time for one more here. Who is used for the fuel card program?
Yeah, great question. So we have a couple various partners as it pertains to fuel cards. One of the biggest partners that we have is a company called Right Express, or also referred to as WEX. And then we also partner together with another company called Voyager. So absolutely, great question.
That's so awesome. All right. Well, thanks for everyone for joining us today. That concludes the question and answer session. Thanks, Nick, for delivering such a great educational presentation on how telematics solutions can help improve customer service. If we were unable to get to your question, so sorry, but we will have an account manager follow up with you as soon as possible. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Matt.